Chris Nitti in the house at Crossroad Cues. Just came into the inventory made by the world famous Mr. Chris Nitti from down in Orlando, Florida. Chris, of course, has been the cue maker of the year. Don't quote me on this. I don't have a book in front of me. I think it was around 2018. He was awarded cue maker of the year at the Super Billiards Expo right around that time frame. Chris always does a great job at the expo. I've had the privilege of interacting with him, and he is a perfect gentleman, and he makes some really, really, really good playing cues. Many of the players that play on the Florida Tour or anywhere in the southern part of the country, if you go to a pool room, just about every other cue you're going to bump into is going to be a Nitti, and that's for good reason. And they don't just play with them in Florida. They play with Nitti cues all over the world, of course. Maybe if you're watching this right now, you've already got some in your collection, but this one right here is, if you look at the points right here, it says Nitti 2018 number 10. He always signs his name and then the cue that he's made for that part of the year. So for instance, 2018, that would have been his 10th cue. This is Waterfall Bubinga. Waterfall Bubinga, you got some really nice long straight points. I'll try to zoom in for you a little bit here. I love these veneer colors, very unique. You've got natural, charcoal, orange, and then they're bordered in green. And it really stands out going into that jet black ebony right there. Radial pin, of course. So if you've got a Revo shaft or a low deflection, it'll be a perfect marriage for the Nitti cue. And then, of course, black leather wrap. He carries the Waterfall Bubinga, of course, into the butt sleeve. And then you've got ebony boxes that are bordered in black. Traditional Nitti double dash black and white ring work. What I like about Chris's cues is he, of course, focuses on the playability. He's made some really big monster cues. And Nittis, I would go as far as telling you, are some of the absolute best overall investments from my standpoint, because when you get a Nitti, you get into it at a good value, like we're going to be offering this one to you in just a moment. You play with it for a while, you can sell it for what you paid for it or even make money on it because his cues are known. And the big part about it is, because Chris is a high-integrity cue maker, he doesn't skip his list for anybody. So if you call the shop right now and you want to order a cue, I'm not sure of the wait time, but he's somewhere between 2 or 3 years. The only way to get a cue from him, besides being on that list, is you gotta approach him at a show, and I believe the only show he's doing right now is the Super Billiards Expo. So if you want to get your hands on a nice Nitti, this cue right here is being sold with one shaft. You know, getting a second shaft for the cue is not a problem. Chris is really good to work with. This is a standard maple shaft, and we've taken all that into account. We're going to let this one go with no wait time, in very good condition, for only $25.75 plus shipping. So $25.75. I would rate this cue, if brand new, were a 10 plus. This is a 9 out of 10 all day long. I mean, the forearm doesn't have a ding, a dent, a scratch anywhere. The butt rolls perfectly true. That's another thing about Nitti's construction. You'd be real hard-pressed to find one that's got a roll in it. Look at that. Laser straight. I love the way he does the Waterfall Bubinga going into that ebony. You've got inlaid diamonds in each point, and then, of course, the diamonds that are in the center of each box. This is all non-natural material. So for those of you that are following our page internationally, we can ship this cue. There is no natural material in it. We can ship to just about any country unless there's any kind of restrictions. You can see pictures of this at crossroadcues.com. That's crossroadcues.com. 9 out of 10. There are a few marks, and it's so hard to see. I mean, they're really small. We're just full transparency here. There was just a couple of little marks in the finish from play. I can't even find them now. Just a couple real small scratches in the finish on the butt sleeve. It would probably buff right out. No big deal there. But other than that, perfect condition. The shaft rolls true, and that is a 13 millimeter Nitti shaft. So Chris Nitti in the house at Crossroad Cues. You can see pictures at crossroadcues.com. If you purchase this, we ship out the same day or the next business morning. Give us a shout. Thanks for taking a look.